Now we am boy.
What's up, people? What's up, people? How you doing? What's up, people? I was supposed to do this at 1 o'clock, but I was like, you know what? Let me do it early so that I can leave it there, and then I have an opportunity to go and do a few things, you know. But what's up, people? How you doing? It's been quiet, isn't it? This international break. Obviously, there's this. I don't know. I don't trust it. There's obviously the biggest news in this international break is Musiala going to Man City, which myself personally I still don't believe. I still don't believe 100%. I don't believe it. I just let me say this, right. It's the same thing as if I saw a news saying Foden going to Bayern. I don't think City are giving away Foden to Bayern. That's why I don't think Bayern will easily give Musiala to City. Regardless the contract situation, they'll try and find a solution. That's the biggest player. So I'm not going to talk about the Musiala thing. I know people credit the person who broke the news. Big up to them, but I just don't feel like Musiala will ever end up at Man City because he's very important to Bayern, and he's one of the best players out there right now. If we talk about best players or young players out there. So anyway, welcome to the show, guys. We're going to talk about Rodri and the Ballon d'Or, and plus why I hate Jack Grealish, apparently. So why I hate him. We're going to finally reveal and expose the fact that I hate Jack. Apparently, I despise him. I hate the way he talks. I hate the way he speaks. I hate the way he walks. I hate the way he plays football. So apparently, I hate everything about Jack Grealish. So we're going to talk about that after the Rodri situation. Look, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, all I'm asking is just retweet whatever tweet feed you're watching right now. And for those on YouTube, and even those who are on Twitter, if you can join us on YouTube, go ahead, drop a like to the video. So let's talk about this. Look, it's that time of the year again, or that time of the period where we have to, not we, because we don't pick, but out there's people who are able to pick. Out there's people who don't who pick who is the best footballer who deserves the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, let me start it this way. Before we talk about Rodri versus Vinicius, throughout the history of the Ballon d'Or, we've had disappointments. We've had situations where people have been robbed. Frank Ribery, let's not forget about Lewandowski. After his performance, they decided to say the Ballon d'Or is abandoned just because of lockdown. Nah, come on, man. You could have done a virtual Ballon d'Or live on a stream or something with limited people, not even brought people inside, just limited, and then sent the Ballon d'Or to Lewandowski, and he could have just presented a thank you. You would have just sent it to him if that was the case. So there's been a lot of robbery. Let's not forget Haaland and Messi, where a lot of Messi fans told us that, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the World Cup. I never believed that. You know why I never believed that Messi winning the World Cup, he deserved the Ballon d'Or? Let me explain it to you. Where was Mbappe's Ballon d'Or? If winning the World Cup means, when you win the World Cup and performing the World Cup means a lot. At a very young age, Mbappe managed to win France a Ballon d'Or. He was the performer in there. Yes, Pogba was performing, Kante was performing, but Mbappe scored the goals, and Mbappe was outstanding for a guy his age. And guess what people told us when we say Mbappe has to win the Ballon d'Or? Majority of you who were backing Messi, that all you have to do is win a World Cup. Do you know what you told us? You're like, no, it's not all about the World Cup, and Mbappe is playing in the French league, which is useless. Okay, but Messi played in MLS, which is worse than the French league if you talk about it. But you still say, oh, here is a Ballon d'Or for Messi over Haaland, who was breaking a goal-scoring record, who won a treble in his first season. He broke the goal-scoring record, won the treble in his first season. He was the highest goal scorer in the Champions League. Messi stank in the Champions League. And Messi did not, I think, win anything in the MLS. So it's quite funny that things change. And let's dial it back. Back in the days also, when Messi and Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or, go and check properly, study it properly. Some players would win the World Cup and not win the Ballon d'Or. Some players would win the World Cup, even that domestic trophy, and not win the Ballon d'Or. People used to say, oh, it's about performance. Look at the goals Messi and Ronaldo have scored. Oh, look at these two, they're amazing. How else can we give somebody a Ballon d'Or? What I'm trying to say is, this Ballon d'Or thing has always been crafty. It's been shaky. And I think when Modric won it, that time, when Modric won it, when he was playing for Madrid, I think it's the fact that he played for Madrid, but it's the fact that there was a lot of people making noise. There was a lot of people pushing the agenda that Modric deserves the Ballon d'Or. He deserves the Ballon d'Or. I think the Ballon d'Or were pressured, and then most people were pressured, and then boom, he won it. But overall, that's the history of the Ballon d'Or. It's never straightforward. There's players that have been robbed. There's players that deserved a Ballon d'Or and never received the Ballon d'Or. As I said, even Haaland, I think that was unfair. If they wanted to give something to Messi, this is my opinion, to satisfy the Messi fans, because there's a lot of them out there, Messi fans. I'm a Messi fan, but I'm not as hardcore as other people. Other people, oh my God, they will want to kill your family for the sake of Messi. So anyway, they could have just given him an honor, that we honor Messi with the Ballon d'Or because he's won 6 or 7. we honor him with this special Ballon d'Or. It's called like a honor, or like we honor him, just a honor. Like one of those things where when you go to the Grammys, when you go to the Oscars, say give one of the actors a lifetime achievement. They could have given Messi a lifetime achievement Ballon d'Or for winning all the Ballon d'Ors he has. Now let's talk about this Vinicius and Rodri Ballon d'Or debate that's happening right now. Funny thing is, I have seen people insult Rodri. I have seen people say Rodri doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. Apparently, he doesn't deserve it, but Vini deserves it. Funny thing is, if we go to Brazil, what has Vini achieved at Brazil? Because you keep telling us Vini deserves it, right? Yes, in the UCL, he did very well. He won the UCL. He won the domestic cup. Big up to him. You changing the goalposts again for Vinicius. You say, oh, he's an attacker. So that's what somebody said. That's how stupid it is. He's an attacker. It's more attractive. He's the best player in the world. He won the Champions League and the domestic cup. He won more than what he won is more. It's stronger than what Rodri has won. Rodri, I think, won the Europa, won his domestic cup, and he won man of the match in most of the matches in the Europa to get Spain to win the Europa. So it's quite funny that every time there's a category, I don't even understand. Like fans watching out there, does anybody know how people win a Ballon d'Or? Because back in the days, they used to tell me that, oh, you have to win, you have to perform in the World Cup, you have to win the World Cup, then you have to win your domestic. Like they used to say trophies determine you win a Ballon d'Or and you performing during those trophies. And they used to say, always win the trophy that you're competing for. So let's say, for instance, you're competing for the Copa. They used to say, oh, you win the Copa also. Like if you don't win the World Cup, win the Copa, win the Champions League. Winning the Champions League apparently was a big factor. But it changed when it was Haaland. Do you see what's funny? So it changed. So you've changed the goalposts so many times. I don't understand. How do you win a Ballon d'Or? Can somebody tell me in the comments? Because I need education. How do you win a Ballon d'Or? What's required? What are the requirements for you to win the Ballon d'Or? Because right now, if you look at Rodri with the Euro, which I think is better, it's stronger. Winning a Euro is difficult. It's not easy. It's very difficult to win the Euro. I'm not saying winning the Champions League is not difficult, but he's won that and he had man of the match performances. If you go to Vini in Brazil, they haven't won jack all. And Vini, the best player in the world, as you call him, hasn't done much. And people are saying Vini deserves it. Look, for me, to be honest with you, if any of these two were given it, I won't complain. It's just the fact people are trying to insult Rodri. People are trying to say things about Rodri and saying, oh, Rodri doesn't deserve it because he's just a CDM. He's just a midfielder. Well, Modric was a midfielder. And he was a midfielder. But you give it to him. So it's just confusing. Let me go to the chat. Nick says, big up to you. Nick, big up to you. No, I don't believe it either. News about Musiala. Yeah, I don't believe the Musiala news too. Hi, Doug. How you doing, man? Doug, I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well, Doug. Big up to you. You people don't like Jack for clout. We'll talk about Jack in a minute. Oh, sorry about that. We'll talk about Jack in a minute. Excuse me. We'll talk about Jack in a minute. No. The Ballon d'Or votes come from the head journalists of every country. So technically, it's their favorite fault. It's their fault. Technically, it's their fault voting for the wrong man. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Some of these generals and coaches, when you talk to them, I remember looking at that interview. I don't know who it was. Was it Mikel or one of these guys saying, "Oh, if Mbappe didn't win it, that means the Ballon d'Or has to be closed." Closed for what? Just because your idol, your hero, won a World Cup after a long time of waiting, you say he deserves the Ballon d'Or just like that. I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. Players, coaches, and journalists vote. Yeah, okay. So you see, it's voted by them, and these are the people who especially the players and the coaches. What do you mean players? What sort of players vote for it? The Ballon d'Or is voted by players. I didn't know that. But I keep asking that what's the requirement to win a Ballon d'Or? Does anybody know? Does anybody? Wait. Let me see this. What's the requirement? Requirement to win a Ballon d'Or. Okay, so the winning players of the Ballon d'Or are voted by a panel of journalists. Starting in 2022, the voters are limited to 100 countries in the FIFA ranking for men and the top 50 nations from the women's ranking. So, what are the Ballon d'Or, blah blah blah? I don't get it. There's no requirement to, but no winners get no. Do you tell me who is the Ballon d'Or? France football says and yeah decides upon 30. No, that still doesn't make sense. I'm trying to look for the requirements. Like, what are the requirements for somebody to win a Ballon d'Or? Like, what is it measured by? That's what I'm trying to find. What is measured by? But it's not saying at all. It doesn't say how you measure. So anyway, let's go back to Rodri. Rodri is going undefeated. He's been undefeated in so many games. Obviously, you can't count the Madrid game because he went to pens. They talk about 90 minutes or something. Apparently, he's goes undefeated. He wins the Euro with Spain. Man of the match performances. Man of the match performances for City. He's got so many goals for central defensive midfielder, which is unheard of. So many goals. Performance after performance, 9 out of 10 performances, 8 out of 10 performances, 10 out of 10 performances. But Vini, who's just had moments there and there, apparently, oh, let's give it to Vini. I just feel like a lot of people are very dishonest when doing these things. Very dishonest, because when you're talking about saying, oh, let's put Jude into this, let's put Jude Bellingham into the Ballon d'Or, he's a favorite. The favorite for what? What has Jude actually achieved? Oh, he's won a Champions League. Did he? Was he the main catalyst in that Champions League thing? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Rodrigo deserves to be on that list. Rodrigo deserves to be on that list, and Rodrigo is not on that list. More people deserve, like look at the list also. Harry Kane. What has Harry Kane achieved? What has Harry Kane achieved? That's why I'm starting to doubt the Ballon d'Or. When they say Rodri doesn't deserve to be on that list, does Kane deserve to be on that list? Kane deserving that to be on that list. There's certain names on that Ballon d'Or list. You're like, does he really deserve to be on this list more than Rodri? I think Rodri has to win it. I think if Rodri doesn't win it, we'll just go to the fact that it's either you have to play for Madrid PR, as always. You play for Madrid, and then because you play for Madrid, your PR goes over the moon, and then you have to be an attacker. They look for attackers, because I think if you go back to history, it's only rare a few times, like it's very, very small times where it's not an attacker that wins it. It's very few times that's not that. But I think Rodri deserves it. Rodri has done so much. And I think when Rodri wins this Ballon d'Or, when he wins it, it will change more. It will change things for the better, because I'm pretty sure there's certain players in certain positions who are like, why didn't I win it? Why didn't I win it? That's why I also think that time people might not like it, but I think when that time Van Dijk had to win it. I think Van Dijk deserved it. I think he didn't have to come third. I think Van Dijk deserved it. I think even Salah deserved it at a point in time. Like, there's been situations where players have deserved it. I've noticed that Premier League players get overlooked a lot. There's only a few who've won it, but we get overlooked. But Spanish players get given, especially when you play for Madrid or Barcelona. Here you are. Let's not forget that every time the young player of the year for Ballon d'Or is always from Barcelona, always from Barcelona. Head coaches and captains of every country vote for the FIFA main best player. Okay. HH was trying to hard to insult Rodri last night to not win. Nah, HH, man. HH is just a hater. HH is just a hater. Rodri deserves this Ballon d'Or. As I said, if Rodri doesn't get this one, we'll just understand that it's either you have to have Madrid or Barcelona PR, especially you have to have Madrid PR. That's the reason why Jude is on that list, and Jude was getting all this PR throughout the season. Or you just have to be an attacker. But Rodri, for what he's achieved and for what he's doing as a defensive midfielder, just look at everybody even when people are saying one of the best players in the world, when they're talking about one of the best players in the world, people are actually name dropping Rodri. When was the last time I speak to most of you? When was the last time like people speak about a CDM like this? And for what Rodri has achieved at Man City, for the fact that when Rodri doesn't play, we struggle. Like, obviously this season somehow Kovacic has what do you call this again? Kovacic has played so well when Rodri is not there. But let's not forget last season when Rodri wasn't there, Man City struggled. It was a struggle. And for someone to miss an important piece like that, and for him as Spain captain, and oh my God, it's just there's just too much, and there's just too much that's going Rodri's way right now. And for somebody to be dishonest and say, oh, he doesn't deserve it, or why is he on the list? I think people are just waffling. I think some of these things, we should just bring them down to hate. Hate the fact that he doesn't play for you, hate the fact that he's that good. I'm telling you, some of these things, we're just gonna put them down to hate that, or some people just hate the fact that Rodri doesn't play for their team, and the fact that he's performing for Man City, and it's not for their country. And he's performing for Spain. They just hate, and I believe you'll win this because I think sometimes the Ballon d'Or understand. Even the people who are voting, come on, what has Vini done for his country? Please, somebody in the comment, if you're from Brazil or if you watch so much football, what has Vini done for Brazil? Nothing. Rodri is very important in that team. Yes, I know he never played the final. He was injured, but he still got them to the final, and he was very, very important in that final. Many people with two eyes are saying this guy deserves the Ballon d'Or. Also, anyway, let's read this. Rodri will win this year. Journalists and coaches will vote for him, not the players. Fair play. Rodri deserves it, but I think Vini will win it because normally votes go to media hyped individuals. I don't know, man. I don't know if Vini has got the juice like that. I think it's more Jude. It's more Jude who has PR. I don't know if Vini's PR is like that. But I just said Madrid PR is very strong. I have seen players just win it because you play for Madrid. Van Dijk did not deserve to win it. People forget that Matic was better than him in the CL. Yeah, fair. Anyway, guys, like the vid. So that was about Rodri. That's just my 2 cents. I just say I'm just worried that he might not win because some people are trying to. That's the thing is, you can tell how good Rodri is by the fact that people are making videos, people are doing interviews, trying to discredit him for what he does. Somebody had the audacity to say, what does he do at City? Somebody said that. Says, what does he do at City? I'll just leave it like that. That's when I was like, you know what? No. Anyway, let's move on to the second part of the video, which is we're going to talk about Jack Grealish. Second part of the video. So second part of the video, we're going to talk about Jack Grealish. So, for those who follow me on Twitter, and for those who watch me, most people obviously, especially on Twitter, they say I hate Jack Grealish. Apparently, I despise him. I don't like him as a person. Apparently, I'm a Jack Grealish hater, and every time I see Jack, I get very angry and I tweet out bad things about him. Apparently, I have an agenda against Jack Grealish. I'm an agenda merchant, so I have a personal vendetta against this man who I've never met in my life. This man who doesn't know me. This man probably who doesn't know anybody who goes on Twitter or YouTube and insult other people for the sector. Let me fight for Jack Grealish for his love and his cuffs. Anyway, let's be serious for a minute. And I think I have made a video before in the past explaining my constant pressure towards Jack Grealish and my constant pressure towards certain players also who you feel like they have so much potential. Sorry, they have so much potential, but that potential doesn't get reached. So let me dial it down again. Let me bring it down from the beginning so that people can understand this relationship I have with Jack Grealish, which is a love-hate relationship apparently. When we were linked with Jack to come from Aston Villa, I remember when we were linked with Jack Grealish that he's coming from Aston Villa to City. If you ask most of my friends, I was hyped. I was too hyped. Every time when we were chatting in our chat, we have a group chat with my friends. It's a sort of a group chat. We chat there. Every time somebody says something, I used to put Jack Grealish memes in there. I would put Jack Grealish with his years like this at Villa, and I'll put a Jack, one of the gifs when he's running, when he scored against Liverpool, he ran and then he did the whole this. I would put that. I was so hyped, man. I did edits. I edited jerseys, Jack's body onto our players just for me to be hyped. I was hyped with Jack Grealish, man. I have a Jack Grealish jersey without a number because I didn't know what number he was going to wear. I ordered it way before he was signed. I was on Jack. Jack was the guy. This guy was a star, man. And let me not lie, man. Jack Grealish is talented. Jack Grealish is talented. And for me to say this, people might hate, and I don't care if whatever you say, if you hate or think I'm lying. Jack Grealish is one of the most talented players in the league and one of the most talented players at Man City. And Jack Grealish, in my opinion, has so much capability and so much skill at the point where I think Jack, if KDB left this team, if Jack was given the keys to be the creative master in this team, I think Jack would do it. I think Jack would be the creative player we need in this Man City team if KDB left. I'm not saying Jack would become KDB level, but I'm just saying I think he's so close to his creativity and the way he carries the ball and the way he's very good in transition and the way he's very good at picking a pass. I think Jack would do it. Now, for me, when he was at Villa, this is what I see. And a lot of people, I think this is a cop-out and this is BS and this is bullshit. Excuse my language. For those people, every time when you're talking about Jack, they come to me saying, oh, then you don't know football. Jack Grealish at Villa was given freedom, so the freedom made him who he was. Yes, there's a truth to that. Yes, Jack Grealish said the manager told him, go wherever you see space. I understand. I accept that. I get it. At Villa, it's different. It was a different kettle of fish, and it was a different sort of team. And people at Villa looked at Jack as the mega star. That was the KDB. They gave him the ball more than everybody, and then he could create and just go wherever he wants. I understand all that. The thing about football is everybody has an opinion in football, and everybody has got two eyes, and everybody can judge a player on how they feel like, and they can judge a player on a standard they want to judge them on. For me, Jack Grealish is a very skilled and a very talented player. And personally, as a person who watches football, it doesn't matter if I am black or I'm from Africa. It doesn't matter if I live in Ireland and I'm not from England. It doesn't matter if I'm not a local fan. I'm not a Mancunian. I'm not from Man City. That doesn't matter. And that's what makes me laugh, because every time you talk about Jack Grealish and you give him a bit of feedback, some people will come to you and say, oh, the only reason why you judge Jack Grealish because you don't go to City games, or you've never been at a City game, or you've never seen Jack live. Quite funny. Anyway, and then they'll say, oh, you're not English. You're from Africa. Your opinion doesn't matter. Not once has anybody, when you talk about Jack Grealish and you try to demand more from Jack Grealish, has ever come to me with football facts. Never, not once. I'm telling you, you can go to my tweet. I have constant arguments with people. There's not once where I have said, let's say if there's a game being played and I say, oh, Jack had to score there. He delayed. He took too long. He took a touch. He had to score. Guess what? All they'll come to you is, oh, you were not in the stadium. You didn't go to the game, so you don't understand. I'm sorry, guys. I have been watching football for so long. I remember when I was young, I sat there and watched Brazil versus France with my dad and my family. When I watched Brazil versus France, and I was in Africa, by the way, that time I wasn't in Ireland yet. I had 2 eyes and my 2 ears. For the age I was at that time, I could still see that Ronaldo R9, this guy is very good. We had rumors already, because I remember the announcers kept on hyping him that World Cup, saying there's a kid called Ronaldo. He's going to wear the number 9 jersey. This kid is so talented. He performed live on TV. So I want to ask those people who went to the game, Brazil versus France, most of the people, can you send me a DM and say that what I saw Ronaldo playing on the field was a lie, because what I was seeing him go dribbling past defenders, 7 players in the team. He could dribble towards 6 players, all the 4 defenders dribble them and dribble the keeper, was a lie, just because, first of all, I'm African. I'm from Africa. Number 2, not only I'm from Africa, I watched it on TV, so it didn't happen. Guys, you don't have to bullshit people when you're defending Jack. Don't bullshit us. Don't bullshit people when you're trying to defend Jack. Defend Jack Grealish with football facts. Simple as. If you come to me or come to any other so-called apparently Jack hater, I don't know why they call us haters. I don't hate him. If you go to somebody who's criticizing Jack for his performances, if you go there and the first thing you say is, oh, you're plastic, or the second thing you say is, oh, you don't watch games, people are going to laugh at you. I'm sorry. I laugh when I'm on Twitter and somebody comes at me with that. Come with me with football facts. Tell me in football facts the reason why, if I say Jack is not doing enough at Man City, come and tell me the reasons why in football terms. Let me read a few comments. Jack is the reason why people think Pep turns players into robots. Look at Savio and Doku. People don't tell me to not. People don't tell them not to dribble or dribble. I want him go. No. That's a bit extreme anyway. Pep does like Jack. He only plays him in big games because he keeps the ball better than Doku. That's a good, fair thing. Look, there's a lot of things Jack Grealish does well in this City team, and I appreciate them. The way he carries the ball and the way he holds on to the ball, not many do that in the league. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Pep Guardiola has said this multiple times. Thierry Henry said this on TV, that Pep Guardiola will play a football that's controlled, but he will control everything from the back where you're doing a build-up. But when you reach the final third, he says Pep Guardiola gives you freedom. Thierry Henry said Pep Guardiola controls everything from when you're built from the back, and then when you reach the final third, Pep Guardiola tells players that your quality has to shine through. Pep Guardiola went on a press conference, said, I give players freedom in the final third. I will help you get to the final third. Says Pep Guardiola said, I will help you get to the final third with build-up and interplay and connections and movement and everything. When you get to the final third, you have to make the decision. If Pep Guardiola did not like players who dribble and lose the ball, why do you think he played Doku in the last game of the seasons? Why do you think he played Doku? Why do you think he's got Savio now? A guy who will dribble and most likely sometimes will lose the ball. Savio is here. Guys, all I'm saying is, Jack Grealish, I have seen him do a lot. I have seen him as a baller. I watched the England game. Look at the England game. Yes, people will be like, oh, he played as a number 10. I get it. But come on. If you have it inside you as a football player and you get into the final third, don't play it safe. And how many times have you been watching the TV and Jack has the ball in a situation where he has to kick, but he takes an extra touch instead of shooting? Yeah? Like, look at that England goal. It's not because he's playing as a 10. No. Jack Grealish tucks in at City. He's mostly sometimes gets into central. And look, I would love to see him as a number 10. But all I'm trying to say this, and I'm going to say this one more time, guys. I don't hate Jack Grealish. I've never hated any player at Man City. Never. I don't hate any player. I don't hate Jack Grealish. I don't have a personal vendetta. But I think as a guy who I think this guy is capable of taking over KDB's role at City when KDB is gone. I think he's capable. I think Jack Grealish is capable of being the creative midfielder. He is, and he's got the capability and the skill. But I think he plays it safe sometimes. He plays it so safe so that maybe he doesn't want to be benched. Maybe he doesn't want to lose the ball. And then he doesn't want to disappoint. But I think he has to take risks. Remember, I don't know if you guys watched the interview recently by KDB. He said, I am a risk taker. And if it fails, I'll try it again. I'll try it again. I'll try it again. And those are the players out there like KDB and them. That's the reason why they shine. It's because they take a risk. But the thing about Jack is he plays it safe. And that's my issue. And I'm going to say it right here. That's why I go at him. It's not that I hate him or have an agenda. It's just that I think he's got so much potential to be more than what he is. And you can see the potential. There's certain times when he decides to take the brakes off, and it's amazing, and he's unplayable. But people want to come to me and say, "Oh, he helped us with the treble. He did this, this, this." The treble. Most of the carries during the treble, it was Gundogan, Rodri, and Haaland. Those were the players that during the treble were shining. Those were the players with that treble that were shining so well. Grealish was just, what's the word somebody gave me? Facilitating. These were shining. These were carrying. And that's the thing also about Jack. And that's what I'm asking for. Look at Foden. If you talk about Foden now at Man City, Foden has a legacy. Yes, Foden has been there longer, but has moments. Foden has a moment. And I remember people keep saying, every time they ask, every time when it's about Jack, I've seen debates where people say, "What? How come you guys cut? You cut what's his name? Who is it? What's his name again? How come you guys never pressure Bernardo Silva? Because Bernardo Silva's had moments for City. He's had moments where he's carried us in a game. Jack Grealish needs those moments. That's why this season it's a make or break season. I'm sorry, Jack Grealish fans. You might hate this. I'm sorry, people who supposedly say because I'm not English or I'm not from England, they don't listen to me because I'm not British, because I'm not white. That's what they told me. It's like, oh, yeah, you're from Africa. Who can listen to you? You're from Africa. I don't care. I watch football with my two eyes, and everybody has an opinion. As it says at the corner there, where opinions matter. The reason why I started this channel is I decided to say, you know what? I want to also give up my opinion. If people want to have me on that channel, I'll have my own channel. That was my other reason for starting my channel, because if people don't want to have you on that channel, fuck it, I'll have my own channel and I'll have my own opinions. And if people don't like my opinions, they can go watch those channels that did not want to have me. That means there's a reason why they didn't have me on that. But for me, I have no bad bone in me. I have no evil in me. That's the reason why, if you've seen on Twitter, when people are talking nonsense or trying to insult me, or use where I come from, or use my appearance or whatever, that I don't care. I just laugh at them because you're wasting your time. This is all football. That's what I'm saying. When we are having a debate, why don't we talk football instead of saying, "Oh, most of the people who hate Jack Grealish are from Africa"? That just shows how backward you. That's how it shows how backward you are. It shows how backward you are when you say, "Oh, the African opinion doesn't matter." That shows how stupid you are, because this is football. So let me just close this. I will continue to give opinions on football players. I will continue to if Jack doesn't perform, I will say Jack doesn't perform. Because I remember I used to say Raheem doesn't perform. Nobody came after me. Quite funny. I remember when I was on Raheem's back, I was over and over. I was criticizing Raheem's steering. I remember when he missed that open goal in the Champions League, I was on Raheem's back for a week. Nobody came after me. But somehow, when you come after Jack Grealish, who is the messiah for most, people come at you, and it's not even football terms. At least Raheem fans used to come with football terms. At least they'll come to you with a football term saying, "How dare you do this? Raheem has got good movement. Raheem does this. He knows where to position himself." But Jack Grealish fans will never bring anything that's solid. But that is the thing about Jack. He can do more. And it's not about that he's not at Villa, guys. Let's stop this. Or it's not Villa. It's still a player. It's still Jack Grealish. Look at Savio then, who's just come in. He's not at Girona, but look at how he's playing. It's just the fact that Jack has the capability, and we've seen it in certain games, but certain games he plays it too safe. Like there's certain moments you're like, shoot, don't pass. Shoot, don't pass. You're like, oh, release the ball faster. He holds the ball so long. That's just the only issue I have. And it's not like I hate him, as I say. There's no hate at all between me and Jack. How would I hate somebody I've never met before? That's quite funny. How would I hate on somebody I have never met before in my life? So that's it. Let's just close that. This thing where it's say, "Oh, Jack Grealish, Patrick hates Jack Grealish." You're wasting your time. I don't hate Jack Grealish. I don't hate any player who plays for Man City. I just demand more. And the reason why I demand more from Jack is because I have seen him as a player, and I see he's got the ability and he's got the potential and to be world class. But it's the fact that he doesn't release the ball early, and sometimes when he's about to shoot, he shoots too late and they get blocked. So as soon as Jack Grealish gets to that level, which I think he might get to that level this season, I'll be here. I'll be one of the guys supporting him. And do you know what? It's quite funny. If you go to one of my videos, it's titled, "Let's Talk About Jack Grealish." I was one of the people who was defending Jack Grealish in his first season when people wanted him gone. I defended Jack Grealish in his first season when people wanted him gone. But all of a sudden now, he's got this fan base that has come to pass now, that they don't even do football talk anymore. They just come with useless non-football facts to defend Jack. Defend Jack with football. Trust me, people keep quiet. Defend him with football terms. But it is what it is, man. And I hope Jack for City, I have prayed for this for a long time, becomes the main guy at City. And I think he's capable. He's very creative. He was one of the most creative players in the league before we bought him. And he was one of the most dangerous players. Let's not forget what he did to Liverpool. This guy dunked on Liverpool. Jack Grealish dunked on Liverpool. There's no any other team that has given Liverpool 7-0. Jack Grealish was the captain, and he carried that Aston Villa side to that 7-0. So anyway, guys, that is my opinion on Jack Grealish, and also my opinion on Rodri and the Ballon Dor. I hope Rodri wins the Ballon Dor, and I hope Jack has an amazing season so that we can all start calling him world class, which I think he deserves. And I hope Pep starts also seeing the fact that Jack is an option as a number 10. And Jack said it himself in an interview. Pep wants me to play. Pep wants me to play as a winger, stay more on the wing. But myself, I see more myself as a number 10. Look at him as a number 10 for England. It was incredible. No, I don't hate Jack because I live in Ireland or I support Ireland. I don't care about what his decision was. That was up to him and Declan Rice. If they decided to say, Rice and Jack, if they decide to say, you know what, we don't want to play for Ireland, it's up to them. It's up to them. It's their choice. It is what it is. It doesn't change the fact that I will still support Ireland and I live in Ireland. That doesn't matter. That's not the reason why I criticize Jack or give him a hard time, as people say. So anyway, it is what it is, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video. That's all we're asking. But I appreciate all of you for watching, and I appreciate all the guys who were in the comments. Nick, Doug, Standa. Is it Nobi Standa? I think if that's how you say your name. Nick, this season seems everybody will cook, including Jack. Yeah, he will cook. We must sell Jack at the end of the season if he's not improving. That's what a lot of people say, that we must sell him if he don't. So it's a make or break season for him. So a big up to Jack, man. This season, it seems everybody will cook, including Jack. I hope Jack cooks this season, man. I hope he proves a lot of people wrong this season and he becomes the number 10 we have all been waiting for, and he performs to his ability, because he has the ability. I'm telling you, Jack has the ability to be one of the top assisters in the league. He does. He has the ability. He has it in his locker. So I hope, Jack Grealish, if you ever get to watch this, I am in support of you. And I hope this season you cook. And I hope this season you prove to all the haters that you are that good. And which I know you are. Anyway, bye, guys. See you.